Okay, good morning, everyone. It can't replace it. Okay. I'll explain anyways, step by step, why Power BI only, right? Why companies are looking for Power BI. Other tools also there, no doubt they are also great tools. But thing is, certain things are quite easy in Power BI. Okay, so we'll take you through the introduction today of all those different things. Then we'll find out the differences between Tableau and Power BI. Okay.
Are they all similar? Tableau, Python, Power BI?
No. Python is again a different thing. When it comes to Tableau and Power BI, you see a lot of similarities between them. For a fact, Tableau is the one, it was released in 2003. It's like almost 22 years ago. So that's the reason it has captured a good number of clients actually. Power BI, their first commercial edition was released in April 2015. So it is just like 10 years old, right? But no, accuracy wise, both the tools are accurate. They give us the accurate results only. But only one thing, why a few companies go for Power BI, why a few companies go for Tableau is based on their budget and the size of the data that they need to handle. And the functionality of the tool, is it like suitable for their requirements or not? So these are the few questions before opting, for any of these kind of tools. There will be a research done for our team. Let's say even when we were part of the analytics team, there were like we used to have something called analytics summit. So attend those kind of workshops or awareness sessions, understand the different tools and their features and the budget that is needed. And then we used to go back to the management and explain like, okay, this is our team and this much data we handle and these are the requirements from our our team. So we feel this is the best tool, suitable tool, and the second best option, third best option, and we used to discuss that. And at the end, like they used to take a call like, okay, so if you are whether you should go for Power BI or Tableau basis on the requirements and whether is it suitable for our team or not. Yeah. So today in our session, it's mostly into, to create awareness about Power BI and why companies are going for Power BI. And most of the migration projects also happening from ClickSense to Power BI or Tableau to Power BI. So different tools, right? So other tools also coming into the market, but Power BI, I think version by version, every month they are releasing something or the other new things, okay? They're like quite interesting things, okay? So it's like it turned out to be like a regular a continuous learning for us also, because there is no end to it. If you look at every month version by version, I'll also show you how you get that newsletter of Power BI and what kind of additions or enhancement they did in the last 1 month, right? They mention each and everything and they roll out one more version. So earlier it was quite frequent actually, okay, but now at least it is kind of stabilized. Earlier, even the colors also we used to get confused. Like one feature on the left-hand side with some color and the very next month, it's there on right-hand side with some other color with a different name, but it's the same feature. So it used to be a lot of changes earlier, but now these days it's like kind of stabilized only. I understand, most of you are here to learn Power BI, but before that, I have a question here. Why do you want to learn it? I think a few of you already opted for SQL and Power BI combination. Someone who joined directly Power BI, my recommendation after the Power BI sessions, better learn SQL also, because the SQL concepts, whatever is there, they're like useful for Power BI. And moreover, I'm going to do a revision of SQL, something that is useful for the ones who directly joined Power BI. Okay. So no need to worry, but learning the complete SQL is recommended. Whatever you guys completed, that is recommended, because we did a lot of things in SQL, like subqueries, unions, joins, and so many different kind of things, right? So it is definitely recommended to learn all of them. But yes, certain things are needed to start off Power BI. All those things I'll once again do a revision. It is more like a brush up, a kind of a revision for you, all the ones who completed SQL. the ones who directly join Power BI, you will understand how the SQL data modeling concepts and all, how they help. Okay. So today I'll take you through those SQL sessions, very much needed in order to build a data model in Power BI, right? So before I start the session, I have a question. I think you all would have done your research, right? On Power BI. So let me know, why do you want to learn Power BI? If you can introduce yourself with your name and where you're working and why do you want to learn Power BI? And if you know something about Power BI, great, and you can also explain that, right? So quickly, we'll proceed with online first. Yeah, online participants.
Yeah, myself Akshay. Good morning, sir. Kishore, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Myself Akshay. I had an overall experience of 4 years from Franklin Templeton and State Street, working as an financial analyst. Right now, I'm working on Power BI projects and Power Apps project also. So I need to learn Power BI to complete my that PL300 certification. Right now, the requirement is our management is looking to who is having the hands-on experience on Power BI. They're going to take the much more appreciations in the team as well. And there is an much more IJPs are also coming on Power BI itself. So right now the management suggested me to take an advanced level, or else the not an PL300 exam, but Power BI is much more necessary to in the coming days. So I decided to take an Power BI classes as well as the SQL classes right now.
Okay.
Uh, that's the reason.
Yeah, thanks for that. You heard him right. A lot of IJPs and a lot of projects are coming up on Power
Yeah,
BI.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
FT. I'll tell you one thing. There is a reason why we get a lot of students from State Street, FT, Deloitte, UHG. Yes, I work there in few of the companies, but other things are like a good number of the students who are working there in these companies. So the referrals and all. So that's how it is. Okay. Yeah, thanks for that. And yeah,
Yeah,
who's
yeah.
next? Yeah, online participants only. Just go ahead.
Good morning, sir. I'm Mohammed Fayaz. I'm a I'm doing my PGDM in MBA. So I want to upgrade my skills. So I already completed advanced Excel training last week, and just I want to started Power BI.
Well, then thank you. So good thing is that as a student, you have realized the importance of learning the business intelligence tools. So yeah, thanks for that. Next, please. Yeah, I see a good number of online participants. Please go ahead, maybe a one or two.
Hey, hi, Pavni here. Uh, I have overall experience of 14 years and I work for ServiceNow. Our company is companies mostly into AI, all kind of AIs and everything. So learning Power BI is a basic now for us. Yeah, just
Got
joined
it.
to seek more information.
Got it. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, sir. This is Srishaila.
Hi.
I'm working in the impact right now. So, to upskill my uh, experience, so I joined in this.
Okay, thank you. Offline.
To listen these companies' name, I'm thinking like, I'm too backside. The people working, for FT service now, and I guess this person also said something.
Genpact.
Genpact.
See, I mean, even I used to think like before joining Deloitte, Deloitte was my dream company. Okay. So when I was here in Hyderabad for the very first time, I thought like, okay, so I should join Deloitte. Took me some time, but finally I was able to crack it. Yeah, maybe today, listening to all these big company names, yeah, kind of creates a little excitement. Okay, cool. Great, yeah. Go ahead. Your name.
My name is Swarna. I have got a 12 years of experience currently working in gaming here. So mostly out of joining classes to more expertise in the problem.
Or we are more and
I-
video.
Basically, I know these things, but somewhere I feel like writing values and understanding the creating virtual vehicles and
Mm, right, yeah. See, there are like different ways of learning. Usually, the way we learn these tools, especially Excel, when it comes to that, at the very beginning point, we don't learn things in a systematic way. Usually, it's like more like an on-job learning. So something we get a requirement and we try to solve it and we get the solution. That's it. We don't know how to connect those dots to learn in a sequential manner, so that you will have a complete idea of the tool instead of like learning individual topics, right? That will definitely happen in this course. So we have techniques to learn each and everything, and then how to connect those dots from one stage to the other stage. Perfect. Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, hi, I'm Lokesh. I joined as a data course, so where I completed Excel and then SQL and then software. The reason of this joining this course because I want to step into the analyst field. So this will definitely help me, and there is something.
Right. You want to get into data analytics. Perfect. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dishant. Again, the reason of me joining Norway is also the same, like others, like I want to get into analyst job. Till now I was in support roles, but again, in my where I work, the managers suggested that if you have all year, then we can easily move you into the analyst job. So that is the reason I have prepare myself to give some time for Power BI. And after this, I'm planning to get into MIS actually as my
Right.
yeah.
So you have a position open there, or at least if you learn the skill, they are okay to move you to the analytics or MS related things. Okay, great then. So thanks for all your introductions. So let me just quickly take you through my introduction as well. I'm Kishore, and it's been like 17 plus years I've been into this reporting, analytics, process automation, and people management. So I've started my journey as a data entry operator. For the first 1.5 years, I was doing data entry operation work. But the good thing is that what I learned during that process is what kind of mistakes can be done at the data entry level itself. So that's what I understood, right? So once you understand the errors that can be done during the data entry, you can easily fix them at the time of data analysis. So that is the reason I was able to easily solve most of the data related issues, because I have the data entry experience as well, right? And yeah, I've joined in a small company and later moved to different teams and moved to different companies. I was with United Health Group earlier. I was with Deloitte. I was with Quadratics. I'm currently leading this team, Excelytics. We are now a private limited company. So yeah, I've recently started doing PhD as well on the data analytics, implementation of data analytics in small scale and mid scale companies. So started working with the MSME sector. So yeah, it's going to be a long journey for me, almost like 3 years that I need to spend, a lot of time and efforts that I need to put into get that. Recently started this. I'm MCT Microsoft certified trainer. I'm CP Microsoft certified professional, Deloitte Faculty Excellence certified, Six Sigma certified, ISO internal auditor certified. Along with that, I'm a PL300 Power BI certified. I usually say that PL300 twice certified. You know why? Because I missed renewing it in one of those years, and I've requested for an extension, but they said no, and I had to retake the exam. I had to write the full exam again. So I'm technically 2 times certified in PL300, and I'm a PL900 Power Platform fundamental certified, which is again combination of Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, Power Pages, and virtual bots. So on all those topics, there is an exam, PL 900. Someone mentioned about Power Apps, right? During the introduction of someone. Right, so it's the same thing. If someone is looking for Power Apps, Power Automate, also we can train that. And after that, you can even go for PL 900 certification. I'm Excel expert, Word expert, Access expert, Outlook specialist, and yeah, Word specialist, PowerPoint specialist. That list is too big. Actually, I've completed whatever the Microsoft certification that is related to MS Office and Analytics. I've completed that. So yeah, so that's my skill graph. It's little outdated skill graph because I've recently done so many things, but I did not update that yet. I'm yet to update those things, and maybe looking at all those technical expertise thing, you may be thinking I'm from some technology thing. Again, I'm repeating this point. I may be doing a lot of things with SQL Server, SAP Business Objects. I used to work with SAP Crystal Reports, ClickSense, ClickView, Power BI, Tableau. In Deloitte, the good thing is that I got an opportunity to work with ClickSense, Tableau, and Power BI, so all three of them, because I got licenses for all three of them in the production environment and how they work in production environment. I've got some good idea. Um, Working with different domains, and especially at this point, I'm working a lot with pharma because I have active contracts with multiple pharma companies, and I design their L&D programs, and I also work as a consultant for them in terms of their data analytics, related things. I basically help them build the models and all. So yeah, earlier I used to work with only one company, but these days I'm working with multiple companies and different domains. Okay, so I'm coming from MBA finance background, become MBA. Don't think I'm looking at all these technical stuff. I may be from some technology background. No, I'm from BCom MBA. But a good thing I can tell you one thing, as a BCom or MBA, I mean non-technical guys also, they can easily understand these things because these are not that tough. I would believe, because someone is interested to play with numbers, that is enough to settle down in analytics. That's what I strongly believe, right? So slowly we will learn so many things, but yeah, no need to worry even if you are from non-technical background for this training. I'll just show you a couple of job openings that are there in the market at this point. Okay, I'll take you through all of that. And currently, yeah, it's my education credentials. And earlier, I was working as a senior consultant in Quadratics and Deloitte as an assistant manager in reporting and analytics, USG as a process automation expert. People now talking about a lot of AI and automations are actually, leading for these job layoffs, right? Don't think this is something new. Okay, this has been there in the market. Just that as every company is now able to afford the technology, you are hearing this a lot. But UHG kind of a company, or many other companies also. Earlier also we were doing the same thing. Back in 2013-14 time, this is what I was doing. Sit with the process, understand it, code it, automate it, and whoever is there in that process, just either move them to the different teams, and if there is no need, just terminate them. That's it. Yeah, that's what I always say. Like in USG, my job was to remove the jobs. That's what I used to do there. That's what I was paid for. Okay, so I was a financial data analyst in iSpace. Now it is core meeting. Yeah, I mean it's a long journey for me.
You started.
Huh?
When you started in this,
So 2009, 2008 actually, 2008, as soon as I completed my MBA, I joined a small company and then moved to iSpace and then moved to UAG, and from there Deloitte, and from there Quadratics, and now I'm leading this. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I say. I just said 17 plus years, and sometimes I also see these things. Probably once you start searching for a lot of Power BI related or Excel related things on YouTube, the next time onwards you will get the ads. Right? Hey, learn Power BI just in 2 hours without masterclass. Right? You just attend in 2 hours and just pay 9 rupees, which is lesser than a chips package price, right? And you will master Power BI in 2 hours. I mean, whenever I see that, I watch that ad and I feel like, okay, I get smile on my face and I think, okay, so if Power BI can be taught in just 2 hours, then what is it I've been doing from the last 5 years with Power BI and last almost 17 years with Excel? What is that I've been doing, right? See, certain things are there. Even you can build a Power BI dashboard just in 2 minutes. I'll show you today how you can build it. But that is not possible with every data set. Every data set is unique. Everything in the real time, most of the times you get into a unique situation, and for that you need to find out a solution, right? So if everything is same, then why do they need different types of analysts, right? If every requirement of the business is same, then one model for the entire world can implement the same model, right? So understand that every business runs on their own systems, right? And they generate different types of data sets. And they are not common data sets, right? So what you need to do, you need to understand the data set and what is the business expectation, what is that they want to see, what kind of insights you need to draw from the data sets, and all those things you need to question yourself first and then start working with the data sets. lot of transformation is needed, a lot of data modeling is needed, you know, sometimes you need to bring in additional tables, may be needed, different source may be connected, right? It's not going to be that easy. A simple example dashboard can be completed in 2 minutes. A sample dashboard, even I can create it in less than 1 minute also. I can show you like, okay, this is how a dashboard can be created. But it's something like, you know, already you have your data set and you know exactly what you want to do. But in the real time, that is not possible. Every time client comes up with something or the other, they say that, okay, we have this data and we want to see that. Sometimes, interestingly, whatever the client is expecting to see, the data point itself may not be there in the data. You're getting the point. After doing a 1 week research, you will realize that, okay, that data point is not there, then how can I create a report? You're getting the point? So understand this, each and every requirement in the real time is different. I think most of you are working professional, you know that probably. Other than those standard reports, like the weekly report, daily report, monthly report, rest every ad hoc report that you get is a unique requirement. You will have to figure out a way to get a solution there, right? So what is that you are going to learn in this training program, and why am I saying that 2 hours is not enough? Because every requirement is unique, right? In this training, you will understand the steps, how to analyze the situation and what all things are needed to create a report. In that process, how to apply the different transformations. Once the data transformation level is over, then how to build a model. Once the model is ready, then how to create the measures using the DAX, data analysis expressions. And then once the DAX is ready, then how to visualize it with the different kind of visuals, like standard visuals, custom visuals. Once the report is ready, then how to publish it online. Okay, and so that your client will be able to see the same report in their place. Everything goes in a systematic manner, step by step. You don't need to come from the strong reporting background to do this. But my recommendation, someone, if you are planning to learn this Power BI, my recommendation is you must need to have Excel skill first. Right? Most of the people, they do this mistake. Without Excel, they say that, okay, what is the job role that is available? Power BI developer. So people think, okay, if I learn Power BI, I'll get a job. That's not possible. The reason being, whatever we create in Power BI, first of all, we test it in Excel first. How the functionality is, what kind of things we are looking for. We create a POC, a proof of concept in Excel first, because in Excel, it is very easy to implement and see things. Once your client is happy, yes, this is the approach we are looking for, then yes, we implement the same kind of things in Power BI, because Power BI development relatively takes more time.
What if a person knows Excel very good, but he don't have a knowledge of SQL? Still, is it possible, right?
It is okay. Someone who is good with Excel, without SQL, Power BI is okay. But the problem is that some at the other point, you will see the dependency with SQL. So that means after Power BI, you will have to learn SQL, no other option. I'll show you the job, descriptions also today. I'll randomly type a few things and you will find out. Okay, probably SQL session also I would have done the same thing. Like when you start searching for a job like a Power BI developer, right? And it shows, right? It shows the different kind of roles, but they require, right? You see that? Power BI jobs. You randomly open anything, Randstad. Right? Role is Power BI and Python. Python also they are looking for, right? So Power BI and Python only they mentioned, but they definitely, you see this Power Apps, they are asking, right? RPA data desktop flows like Power Automate, which is, right? The desktop flows you can create. UiPath, I think they are using it is again a RPA tool only. Yeah, so this is again looking more towards programming related and Power BI and automations.
Power
Automate.
There is an existing reporting and automation tool and the Power Automate.
Power Automate.
So that they can migrate each.
Yes, and moreover, Power Automate desktop flows and all, they're like very easy to create. I also create a few of the flows to automate my regular works. Okay, so you don't need to do anything. You just schedule it on the Power Automate server. It will take care of running the job, right? It's like kind of RPA, data analyst, Power BI trainer. Yeah, this is actually entity data. I mean, this is asking directly for SQL Server and Power BI and also integration services, SSIS, SQL Server Integration Services, which is part of MSBI. Let us see something like it should show only Power BI consultant. Okay. Let's see this Power BI consultant. 3 to 7 years of experience, ETL process. ETL, we discussed this in the SQL. What is ETL? Extract, transform, load. Right? They are looking for SQL combination, SQL also. Power BI lead. You see that? Experience in SQL Server. Right? So you take any kind of a role, randomly you can open anything and definitely, you will find Power BI is not alone. Along with Power BI, you will have to S&P Global. What is that they are looking for?
Even something else.
For sure. Because Power BI alone, of course, you can do so many things, but there is a lot of dependency with other things also. You see that all the MSBI related components also they are asking SSA, AS, RS, IS, everything. Right? In few of the job descriptions, they clearly mentioned Power BI consultant. SQL. Few of the job descriptions, they also clearly mentioned, you see that?
PL3.
Yeah, PL300. And it is a Power BI consultant, right? What is VLOOKUP doing here?
Advanced Excel.
Excel. See, ultimately, whatever you do in analytics, Excel is always there. I give my, I can share my real-time experience here. We created an end-to-end Power BI, what is that? A solution for a client. Okay, they are into US healthcare. That was a project handover call, last call. Okay, of course, it was like we are going live, and we just wanted to show you everything. And all the top management people, CEO, CIO, COO, everyone was there. The CTO, and everything went really well. And whatever they were asking, with simple clicks, we were able to show the answer. Right? So many dashboards and reports we created with simple clicks. They were like surprised because they used to search same numbers in 20, 25 different Excel reports, and everything is now available in right in front of them. With simple clicks here and there, they were able to see the numbers. They were like quite impressed. And everything was done. And finally, they said like the CEO was the one asked me, Kishore, everything is looking absolutely fine and we liked it and this is what we wanted. And we worked on that project for about six months to develop the first, go to live one. And he said everything was quite impressive and we really liked it because we earlier used to search for the same numbers in 20, 25 different reports. Now everything is available in one place. This is like fantastic. I have one last question, and you tell me, you showed me all those different charts and different tables and everything, right? So is there any way that I can export to Excel? You see, we created a very powerful solution that is available on Power BI, but that a guy wanted again to be in Excel only. You see that people find it like really, convenient for them to play with Excel. Though everything is present, they just want to, do some little, experiments with that data. If it is exported to Excel, you see that? So Excel is always there. You can't get away, right? All right. So you can also search for that. Genpact is there. Lead consultant, Power BI developer. Looks like it is a consultant role, and how many years they are expecting. Power BI DAX and all. It is part of our learning process. ETL is there, right? Yeah, a good thing that they mentioned again, ETL and warehousing concept there we discussed during the SQL sessions, how the ETLs and all they done. Right, got some idea? Now Power BI, when you are searching for a Power BI job, Power BI alone can't get you a job. Along with that, some SQL idea should be there, and along with that, Excel should also be there.
Was that factor? What would be the salary package?
Salary, I mean, I'll tell you one thing, it's a good point. Salary, right? I'm just thinking about a small example here. We're in Amirpet. I hope people who joined the session, this Amirpet location, right? If not also, that's fine, but it is just one of those prime places in Hyderabad, right? Right across the road, we have a small hotel, okay? So there, if you have idli, it's about 40 rupees, right? If you walk a little forward, we have Minerva coffee shop. I think somewhere around 100 rupees there, right? You go towards the Taj Krishna, it's like 2 kilometers away, or maybe 2.5. It's maybe around 200, 300 rupees, right? The pricing is different. May I know the reason why they are charging that high? Because the standards are also different there, right? When it comes to the salary for a particular role, the budget can't be same from each and every company. Because the kind of charges they are, I mean, the kind of charge they do for the clients, right? Basis on that only they can offer the salaries. If you are joining a big company, they have like, they quoted a very high pricing and the client accepted it, and they are ready to pay a good lakhs of rupees, right, to the developer. And I know a 5 years person, almost like a a good 2025 year, right? Yeah, good 4 years ago. Yeah. 4 years ago, company offered a 5 years person with a 17 lakh. Now you can imagine how much that person is earning now, right? So fresher in one of the business schools where I train, a fresher got a 17 lakh. Fresher got a 17 lakh. You see that? So it depends on the company and the budget. But if you ask me a range, it ranges right from, let's say, if you are talking about a 5 years person now, or maybe a 3 or 4 year. Let's take 3 years, okay? It ranges from 6 to 12 lakh easily. Okay. So there may be a few companies with limited budget, they offer only 6. There are a company, if they have like a lot of budget for that role, they can go for up to, it's up to them, like, how they want to plan and what kind of a billing they are getting. Based on that, they're ready to pay.
You also see for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's say someone is doing well and relevant experience is there, and they find it like, okay, this person can handle the entire project. Okay, give that whatever that person asks. Simply like, whenever you're able to crack a good role with a high package, understand that company understood your requirement that yes, this person can handle the process and they are ready to get. Right. Sometimes it also happens that if the candidate is with little lesser skills, though the budget is there, the HR people will try to negotiate. Right. And if that candidate is like well skilled, then let's say if you say, no, I'm not ready to join for this 10 lakh, I'm only okay for 12 lakh. And if there is no other option for them, they will offer no other option. Right. But if you are looking at a range, yes, packages are definitely better than many other roles. Okay. Fine then. So this is 724 batch, B00724, right? All the materials, everything will be shared in the Google Drive. And you can download it from there. Whatever the material that I'm showing on the screen, you will also be able to access the same material with the same sample files and all. Okay. So B00724 is the batch number. Okay. Today, I'll take you through the entire orientation of Power BI and also the SQL fundamentals. I told you, right? SQL is also kind of needed for us. So I'll take you through that. And the ones who completed SQL, don't answer those questions because you know the answers already. But I want the new joiners directly into this Power BI. I want them to answer these questions, right? Yeah, before we start the Power BI concepts, I have a question here. All of you are good with Excel, right? Yeah, got some idea, right? Because a few of the concepts like We talk about lookups, joins, similar concepts. Okay. Right. We start with introduction to Power BI. I understand most of you may not be coming from the reporting background also. So what is business intelligence? Why is it needed? What is the history of BI and different tools that are available in the market, right? We'll discuss all those things. Benefits of Power BI, the components are the building blocks of the, the components and the building blocks of the Power BI, and how to do the Power BI desktop installation. Today, I'll show you how to do that. I think most of you would have done that. It's like as good as any other software that we install. You just need to go to Microsoft Store and search for Power BI Desktop and just install it. I'll show you that process. And we'll also create one sample report today. And today I need to talk about the SQL fundamentals. Okay, very much needed. And then we move on to get and transform the data. So there we talk about how you can get the data from the different sources. It could be Excel source, CSV, PDF, web page, or a SQL server, or Azure, right, or a SharePoint, different sources. You can use it and you can download the data into Power BI. And while getting the data, you need to perform a lot of data transformation steps. What is data transformation? Because the data may not be there in the required format, most of the cases. So what is it we need to do? We need to do the data transformation. Once we successfully transform the data into the right shape by doing so many things, we remove the columns, we filter the data, we group the data, we append new tables to it, we merge the data, we unpivot the data, we pivot the data, we transpose the data, right? We replace the data, we remove the errors, and so many steps are there, right? We need to spend at least a good 3 to 4 hours on only data transformation, because different kind of requirements we see, right? So different sources with different challenges, we try to fix all of them, and we also learn M-query language here. I think you may be like a little worried also, I'll tell you why. Earlier Excel formulas, so many formulas, we learned that. And then few of you moved to SQL, and there we learned so many different SQL queries with so many SQL functions. Now I'm talking about M-query language, one more language, right? Once this is done, you may want to work with, Python also. You need to learn Python also, another language. You may be worried about like, how many languages do I need to learn? But let me tell you one secret here. Once you are comfortable with one language, once you figure out the logics, other languages, they look same. The syntaxes may be different. The way we write those codes may be different, but the functionality is same. So if you can figure that out, that is enough. And moreover, M-query language is the one you don't need to write. You just perform a step and it gives you a code. That's the advantage. But here we will also learn how to write M-query. There are certain fundamentals. We'll talk about that. Okay. And then we have the data modeling concepts there. Okay, once the data is cleaned and readily available for us, and then we load that into a data model. This is where we learn our pivoting concepts, right? How to connect those tables with the keys. I think the ones who completed SQL, you know that. What kind of keys they help us to create joins between the tables? Primary key and foreign key. Perfect. Primary key and foreign key, and using that, yeah. That. So using all those things, we create the models, and then after that we have different data modeling techniques like sorting, or grouping, or category setup, right? Changing the number formats. So many things are there. So we'll be talking about all those things, and also how to create those, tables, temp tables, or ad hoc tables to get the required outputs. Okay. So we create additional tables, during this process. And we also have something called date table, right? You'll understand the importance of date dimension and how to use a date table. Very, very interesting thing, okay? Especially to perform the time intelligence functions. Most of the people, they struggle working with these time intelligence functions, but there is a way, step by step, if you can learn it, you can implement so many time intelligence functions. I can tell you one thing. In Excel, it takes a lot of time to find out something like this. I want to do a MTD, or I want to do YTD, or I want to do same period last year, what happened. Let's say today, which is September 13th, exactly September 13, 2024, what happened. And I want to do a comparison last year number and this year number, whether there is a variance, positive variance or a negative variance. right? Y calculations, MOM calculations, right? All these kind of things can be implemented very, very easily with the help of time intelligence functions. There is a set of functions available. They are part of time intelligence functions category, and we'll also discuss that functions with the help of a date table. So one of those very, very important data modeling concept, creating a date table in the model. We'll talk about that. And once all those things are ready, then we'll move on to, actually, as per the process, I'll be discussing a lot of DAX there first. Okay, but before that, I'll show you, once the model is ready, for our understanding purpose, we visualize the data. Because once the data modeling is ready, we can start visualizing the data. So how do we do that? We use the column chart, line chart, bar chart, remap chart, funnel chart, ribbon chart. So many types of charts are there. Along with those charts, we also have something called custom charts, custom visuals, right? We can download and we can use them, right? So how to download them? For that, we need to create a Power BI service account. Okay, the Power BI server, you can say, or Power BI service account, you can say. We'll learn how to create that account. As a free user only, we create. We don't need to pay any money for that. None of the subscriptions require any money. All these things are free accounts only. You can practice it. And there is, if you want to use the premium features of Power BI, there is a 60 days trial also. You can use that trial version for 60 days to experiment with all those different things.
What is the difference between like a free one and charge?
Free and something like if you are a free user, you won't be able to share those reports with your colleagues. That is a major difference. And there are so many other limitations also. Let's say if you are creating a report in Power BI, what is the objective behind that? You want to publish it and you want to make it available to your clients to view it. But that sharing is not possible if you are a free user, right? You can create the report and you can keep it in your workspace and you can view it. But if you want to share that report with your colleagues or with your clients, that is not possible as a free user. You need to have pro capabilities. For the pro user license, it is about $9.99 per month. Per month. So $10 per month, almost, right? So
Like 840.
850, 860 rupees, something like that. I think it is around 88 something dollars, right? Including conversion charges and all, it may be like a little more. Right, yeah. So you need to take a license and then you can start sharing those reports. And the thing is that other person who wants to open that, they also need to have the pro license.
Same.
Right. Companies who are like operating at a bigger scale, then they will go with different kind of things. There is something called a capacity server also, a P1 capacity, P2 capacity servers. So they get basis on the resources, not basis on the user count. So big companies, they take that kind of a server. Okay. We'll talk about more about that.
So what P stands for in this P1 and P2?
It's a premium server capacity. Okay. We have something like pro user, PPU, premium per user subscription, and a capacity server, you can say. Visualizations, different types of visuals we discuss, and we create the Power BI service account also. Slicing and dicing. I hope you all know what is a slicer in Excel. Same kind of slicers are available. And with the better features, actually, report level filters you can apply. Filters are there, slicers are there. Report level filters you can apply, page level filters you can apply, visual level filters you can apply. You also have slicers, parameters, and drill down, roll up, different things you can do. Interactions also you can set between the objects. And we have the DAX language. Okay, so you create powerful visuals, but always like there is a limitation. Whatever the data model is there, from the data model, you can visualize the data, no doubt. But the business requirement are not that easy. Let's say you have a table, you have a sales column, and you want to show the total sales. Easy. Easy. In Excel, you simply write equal to sum and you get it, or otherwise you just load the data, entire thing into a pivot table and you show the total sales value, and it's kind of easy. But businesses, they don't give always these kind of requirements, right? So they will give you a requirement like, I want to take the sales of this month, sales of last year same month, and I want to do a comparison and tell me the percentage variance. Now you see that a direct, data model cannot support these kind of things. So there, what you need to write, DAX functions. DAX stands for data analysis expressions. This is where we learn how to create the DAX tables, DAX columns, and DAX measures. 3 things we will learn, right? Different examples are there, different use cases are there. I'll take you through all those different use cases to explain the DAX functions. then you will understand why the DAX language is needed. Very, very powerful language. Okay. Definitely better than Excel formulas. The DAX formulas are much more powerful than Excel formulas. Okay.
But many of the companies will use.
Yes, we'll have to use DAX functions because, if a company gives you a requirement, most of the times a direct data model cannot give you an answer. So you'll have to write different DAX functions, right? So here you will have to learn different DAX functions, right? So you have the text functions, datetime functions, mathematical functions, filter functions, time intelligence functions, iterator functions. Different types of functions are there, and we'll discuss all those different functions. And once the report is ready, right, with all those visuals, slicers, filters, parameters, right, bookmarks, and so many concepts are there. Once the report is ready, then we'll publish this report, publish it onto Power BI server. So by the time we'll be ready with our Power BI service account, we simply publish it, and once it is published, you can directly read the data or view those visuals in using any browser, Chrome or Edge or something. You can directly open your Power BI service account and you can see all those numbers there. Right, and here's the point. Once you publish the report, your client will be able to see in the same folder. Folder is nothing but a workspace here. Here's one interesting thing that you need to understand. I'll show you this example. With that, you will get some idea. Right, you have a dashboard, something like this. And you have 5 regions: South, Central, North, West, East. 5 regions are there. And each region has a regional manager. Central, Chris is there, right? East, Erin is there. Sam is there, William is there, and Neil is. Now, you tell me, if I want to share this report with these regional managers, okay, what is it I usually do? I just simply take an email, and I type all those 2 addresses, and I attach this file, and I send it, so that they will see it. Easy. But your business gives you a requirement saying, okay, each regional manager should be able to see their respective data only. Then what is it you need to do?
We use row level security.
Right, row level security is part of Power BI. So we don't have any row level security next. Correct. Yeah, you can write a VBA macro. If it is central, then filter only central data, delete the rest of the data and save it as a copy for central and send it to central manager. Someone should be good with programming to do this, right? Someone who has been doing this VBA macros. They find it like, okay, why do I need to every time do it manually? So I can just simply create a VBA macro and that will take out, that will take care of the process. Like every time when I click that button, it simply goes to the data and deletes the rest of the data and keeps only one regional data and refresh all the pivot tables and check the dashboard once. And then basis on the region, let's say if it is central and it picks up Chris and Chris has an email address, it picks up Chris' email address and then it attaches that file and it sends it across, okay? Fine, but what if you are not a VBA expert then? What is it you need to do? Whatever the steps just now I said, you need to do it manually, right? And let's assume that it is a everyday job, every day, okay? So here's the situation. You need to create 5 different reports for each region and CEO wants entire complete report, right? So that shows all the regions. Then, so you'll end up with 6 reports every day. You're getting it? But here's the catch. In Power BI, we have something called RLS, row level security. So what we usually do is that we simply implement row level security by creating roles. We create a role for South manager, we create a role for North manager. After implementing these roles in the report, we simply assign those roles to their respective managers. Okay, now you publish the report. As a CEO, you log in, you will be able to see all of them. If the North manager logs in, let's say Neil, using the Neil's email address and password, okay? Because for every account, there is an email address and password, okay? So when they log in, automatically it recognizes the user and whatsoever is the role that we have set up, it assigns that role to that person and can see the only North data. When West manager logs in, only West data. The report is same for all of us, but basis on the logins, you see different kind of outputs. That is what we do in RLS. Very, very useful and interesting feature. And we talk about static RLS and dynamic RLS also. If you have 100 members, do you want to create 100 different roles? No. We create only one role, like a dynamic role, right? So what will happen, it will just check the user credentials and it will show the respective data. You don't need to create multiple roles. One role is enough. We'll see that. That's almost towards the end of this. And after that, there is another interesting thing also. There is something called data gateway. So usually the admins are the ones that take care of that. But in this training program, we cover both the development side of it, nothing but Power BI desktop, and the administration side of it, nothing but Power BI service. Both of them will be covered. And we talk about a data gateway, and we implement a data gateway, a personal data gateway. So how to refresh the data automatically. So why do I need to refresh the data automatically? A simple thing. Let's say you create a daily report. Every day morning, 9 o'clock, you get the new data from the client and you import the data into new Excel file and you create your pivot tables and all that stuff, right? And every day you do it. But instead of doing it every day, what is what we do? We set it up like a process. We directly connect to the database server. And every day morning, 9 o'clock, we say that, okay, refresh the report, whatever the data is present in the database, show me the numbers directly in the report. And it's going to be like a complete automated reporting solution, okay?
So
Auto refresh. You can schedule the job. Every day morning, 9 o'clock, if you schedule a job, the Power BI server goes to your database server, fetches all the required data, and it shows all those updated numbers in your report. Power BI, yes, there is something called a Power BI data gateway to read the data from the on-prem data sources or on-premises data sources. We'll see what is a cloud data source or an on-prem data source. You will understand the differences also, right? So we include all those different things. And finally, when it comes to the, dashboarding, dashboard and reports are two different things in Power BI, okay? Report is an individual file that we create. A dashboard is a place where we fetch important visuals into one single screen. Okay, we'll also see the difference. And finally, those dashboards will be shared with the different users so that, on the fly, they can see everything. And moreover, we'll also learn what is Power BI mobile. We have a Power BI mobile application also. Directly, you can log in. Someone like a CEO who is always in travel and meeting different clients and all may not be getting enough time to open each and every report in the computer. So directly on the fly, they can open on their mobile and see what's happening across the business. All these things we'll implement and we'll see. Right? By end of this, you will be able to perform an end-to-end Power BI report development, including publishing and managing the asset. Asset is nothing but a report on Power BI service. That is what you are going to learn, right? Right from what is Power BI to how to create a very powerful dashboard. Okay, we also create app, Power BI app. Okay, on Power BI service only. We'll see that how app works, how app is different from a workspace. Right, different things are there. Done.
just want to know in Excelytics whether you start the topic or
We'll do a few
Sure.
samples.
Samples.
Samples we'll do. Yeah. Right. And one interesting thing, of course, in Excel also we show this, but Excel we spend only little time, but here we spend a good amount of time on this. Most of us, we have this challenge, choosing the right type of visual. You have some data, but you don't know which type of visual actually making some sense there, right? So by this, using this, you can easily come up with a visual. Okay, so whenever you want to show something, 4 questions come. Is it a comparison, composition, distribution, or a relationship? So that's where it starts. If you are comparing, what kind of a comparison? Is it among the time comparison or over time comparison? If it is over the time comparing, is it a cyclical data comparison or non-cyclical data comparison? If it is a non-cyclical data, then is it like a single category, multiple category, or is it something like different things are there again? If it is single category, okay, use a single line. Okay, so now you see that the way you choose this a single category with many periods, okay? You want to show a comparison of sales of what? January to December. Now we see that means it's over time. It is not among the time. January to December. So the moment you look at January to December, it goes here over time. So January to December, is it like a cyclical thing or a non-cyclical thing? Definitely it's a non-cyclical thing, right? January 2025, February 2025, it cannot come back again, right? So it is a non-cyclical thing. So in the non-cyclical thing, what is it you are trying to show? Is it only the sales you are showing? Okay. Only the sales, which is like with many periods, only one measure that you have. Yes, go with the line chart. So there is a scientific approach choosing each and every chart. Okay, we do not randomly choose these charts. Most of the beginners, they do this mistake. You know, a chart is looking really colorful. They say that, okay, let us proceed with this chart. But understand one thing, if you are creating a visual, it should make some sense. If someone looks at that, should be able to figure out what's happening there. Right? So that's what we do. I'll take you through this as part of this material. You'll get this. Yes, you will get this entire material. Okay.
One more question. On the part of this, you also given insight of non-structural data apart from.
Correct. Yeah. I'll show you a few things. As part of the data sources, we have the different use cases. Okay. You see a few of the data sets, they don't even make any sense. You may be thinking like, do we really call this as data? Okay, let me show you one example. So you see something like this. It's a simple example I'm showing here. So you have so many blank rows, blank columns, and it's not well-structured data if you look at this, right? How to fix these kind of issues? This is one example. Okay, I'm just showing you randomly a few. We have other practicals also. As part of this training, we do project works. Okay, so I'll show you one interesting thing. Yeah, you see this. You have the data like this. Okay. You need to figure out what is needed, what is not needed, right? What kind of questions you need to ask yourself before removing some data or adding any new thing to the data, right? So these kind of things are there. So, you know, I told you, right? If something is a well-structured data set, something like this. Let me show you a well-structured like this table. Most of the people, what they think is that, okay, directly load this data and create a report. That is easy, right? But what if the data itself is available in a different way, right? You will have to spend a lot of time to clean the data. That's not going to be that easy, right? I'll show you one more thing. Then you will understand. Sometimes, you know, it will lead to a lot of confusion also. Looking at this data, is it a well-structured data? Can we create the reports using this? Well-structured, okay. Can we create the reports using this? So let's say they are the prices of the different products, okay? iPhone is available in Amazon, where, you know, at 5,100, direct store, you know, something like that. Is it a well-structured data like a?
Oh, what is yes, visualization, I guess, some of it will require more need.
Okay. So let's assume that these are the units sold. iPhones 5,100 sold on Amazon platform. Direct store 5,700 sold, right? So can we create the visuals now?
So you can create visuals, but what you are trying to look on.
So basically iPhone and which platform we were able to sell the highest is what I want to see. Can we create? Now the business requirement is also there. iPhone and which platform? Is it like Amazon we are able to sell, Flipkart we are able to sell, or Paytm we were able to sell? Right.
Yes, you are able to see and tell the, in your case, like you are asking in which platform you have sold more mobile items. In Amazon you have sold.
Amazon
You
we
can
sold.
create some table also.
Direct store is that one. Actually, we sold 5,700. That is the highest there.
Mhm.
Yeah. But is it possible to use this data to create the visuals? Answer is no. You'll be surprised. All the numbers are present there, right? Why are you saying, you know, why can't we create a visual? Amazon at the direct store has the highest sales for iPhone. That is not possible. This is where you need to understand the data set sometimes may be looking well structured, but it may not support you to create the visuals because this is called pivoted data. Yeah, it is pivoted data. You cannot directly bring it onto a visual. That is not possible. You may be surprised to see like everything is well structured and it is there in the table. Then how can't you, why can't you create a chart using this? These kind of things is what we need to discuss. See, a well-structured data, columns are there, rows are there with all the numbers are there, and creating a visual is easy. But sometimes we also run into this situation. The data itself is arranged in such a way, you can't create any visuals. But to realize that, it will take 2 days. Right? But yeah, this is what we are going to do. There are simple techniques for us to understand. Right? maybe if I talk about all those different things at this point, you may be confused also. Let us do step by step, no hurry, because we have like almost a good 4 to 5 weekends time and we'll be learning each and everything step by step, right? So, but I'm just trying to show you that there are tricky situations like this. Something you feel like that may work, but it may not work in the, in the reality. Yes, go ahead.
JSON format for the load test.
JSON, we can load it. It's just that I need to, I'll prepare a couple of sample files. It is possible because at JSON directly you can read it into your, Power BI reports. You have the other things also, JavaScript object node something. It's like a data source one. It's like a data source. No, it's kind of a data format. I would say something like XML data files you have. Like structured, unstructured data, this is what we discuss, okay? So there you will understand SQL tables are structured data. There are certain unstructured data sets also. They are like really powerful. They give us the flexibility to store anything. In the structured databases, you cannot store anything what you wanted, and you cannot, on the fly, you cannot design, or you cannot change the definitions of the tables. But here in the unstructured, it gives us the flexibility to, you want any kind of a thing, you can store it on the fly. So that kind of flexibility it gives. So I'll show you what is it, right? Then you will get some idea. All right. Got some idea about the course contents? Then okay, so we will create one sample report now. Okay. For that, I'm going to use Power BI, right? A simple report. And it's 11:45. I think it shouldn't take more than 5 minutes, including the explanation. If I sit alone and do it, it can be done in just in less than 1 minute also, right? Let us take Power BI desktop. Take a blank report. Excel is a source. Correct. Yes, this is Power BI. I'll explain that. What is the user interface, how it looks and all, right? And also show you today how to install Power BI. Because if you want to try it out today, you need to have Power BI application, right? So go to data sources, and this is the Superstores data. I'm just showing you a sample report, but without much explanation. I'll go with this orders table. I want to simply load it. And actually we can't load it directly because we need to do the data transformations also, but that's okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
See, whatever we are going to represent in Power BI, that we need a raw data.
Correct.
Raw data actually comes from Excel, right? Or you can say SQL to Excel and again Excel to Power BI to Excel.
Okay.
Right. So at any cost, we have to import the data from the Excel only, right?
No, not necessarily only from Excel, because Excel is one of those data sources. You have so many other data sources. If you, when you say get data, you see, you can get the data from CSV, XML, JSON, folder, PDF, whatnot, SharePoint, SQL Server, IBM, DB2. You have like all those things are data sources only for us. You can get the data from any source. Almost all the connectors available. All from there you can directly get the data.
Because I've seen PDF over there.
Yeah, you can read the data from PDF also. Let's say if you get a bank statement that has a table structure in it, you can directly import that bank statement into your Power BI to start analyzing your expenses, or how much is incoming and how much is outgoing and all.
And let's suppose it's just normal a Word document.
No, I'll tell you one thing. If it is like a normal document, what kind of analysis you want to do? It is not possible. Exactly. So it requires a table there. Ultimately, we will have to turn that into structured table only. You may be reading the data from an unstructured data or a structured data, but ultimately when it comes into Power BI, it needs to be in the form of a table only. We will convert that into a table. Then only all those measures, calculated columns, tables, relationships, everything works. Okay. Right. Excel is most commonly used data source. Right. That is our first step also. Right. See that everywhere Excel is the first one. Yeah. Even if you take a new one, I'll show you one interesting thing here. Let's say I want to take a blank report. You see that? What is the first option here? Import from Excel. What is the first option here? Import from Excel. What is the first option here? Import from Excel. Even if you go to more, what is the first option there? Import from Excel.
Most commonly.
Most of the times. I'll tell you one more thing. Usually what happens is that if you're asking for a backend database access, that requires a lot of approvals. Those approvals may take some time. What we usually request, if it is taking so much time to get the approvals, we request for a table export. Giving a small table export is not a big challenge for the IT team to do that, or the SQL or DBA team to do that, okay? So they give us the export in Excel format, and we connect that Excel report, and we start building all the visuals and all, just to see how the thing is coming. Once everything is looking fine, then what is it we do? If everything is okay and client is happy with that output, and if, meanwhile we also got the access to the SQL database, then we change the connection. That's it. From Excel to SQL, we point to the right table. That's it. It will start reading the data, because in Excel table structure you have the same header. In the SQL table structure you have the same header. Then it automatically starts reading the data from the SQL table. So these kind of things we do in the production environment. Okay. So we'll discuss that, how to change the data source connections and all. Right. Got some ideas so far? We loaded one table, and now you see that, of course, I was just explaining all those things, but yeah, if I want to create the visuals and all, like you see that you don't need to be like a Power BI expert to create a report. So if you look at this, you have certain data columns, and you have one of those things, sales is there. Now you want to know what is the total sales. You know what? Just do a double click. There is something called Q&A visual in Power BI. What is Q&A visual? You ask a question and it will give you the answer. Right. I want to find out total sales. When you ask what is the total sales, that's it. This is the total sales, right? I'm not happy reading it like 21,834,000. I'll just do a small.
This number is a random number or? You already asked a question.
Yes, I've imported Excel data, right? Transactions, one of those orders table I've imported. In that imported table, this is our total sales. I want to know total profit. Just next to it, just ask total profit. Right? Switch to a standard visual and make it like auto. Again, I want to see the total quantity. Done? Okay, I want to see, now you understand this. This is like really interesting thing.
Just we are asking questions, whatever you want, it's giving us output.
Exactly. I want to see the total sales by state. Because total sales by state. You see that California, New York, and these are the states available in my data. And it is showing it by the state total sales. And I'm not happy showing like a bar chart. Okay, I want to show it like a map chart. Then I'll ask on a map. Okay, it will switch that bar chart to a map chart. So that means you just ask a question, it will give you the solution. That's it. Yeah, good one. What we are doing there, right? Understand. So this is what usually people, I'll show you a couple of other charts also. Total sales by category. Okay. In a pie chart. Okay. Here, total sales by segment in column chart. Done. And there I'll insert a slicer. You know a slicer, right? Slicer for the region I'll take. Okay. And I'll insert one more slicer. And this time by the ship mode. That's it. Central. You see that? All the numbers are changing dynamically. I want to know first class. See that? Yes. And I'll just keep one header there. Sales performance. Okay. We're gonna apply some background color something.
Person, not right. If I want to make my header, will be current filters to be updated or not.
Possible. So whatever the selected filters are there are different techniques that we can use here. There is a custom slicer with the selected items. It shows what kind of filters have been applied. Okay, so that is one way we can do. A selected value, you can show it in the header itself. We have one thing like, top N analysis we do in our requirement. Okay, when I select top 3, your header should change automatically showing top 3 sales performance. Or if I change it to top 5, automatically your header will be updated to show top 5 sales performance, something like that. Okay, so that is possible, but we need to use either measures can be used or different variables you can use there, right? So that is possible. You can dynamically update your header also, right? See, creating something like this hardly takes what, 2-3 minutes, right? If you sit on it and then start creating it without talking to anyone, in 1 minute also you can do that, because what is it we are doing? We are simply asking a question and it is creating a visual for us. But that is not enough. Usually people only talk about this level, saying, okay, you can create any kind of a visual like this, but hold on, every requirement is not same, right? So creating a sample report in 2 minutes is easy. But if you really want to show a very powerful insight, let's say I want to know last year same period what happened, compare it with now, or from starting of the month, how the monthly average from January to August, and is it meeting with the daily average of September or not? You see, these kind of questions, of course, you can still take the AI help also, but these kind of questions can be done using measures only, DAX measures. We'll talk about those kind of things. Creating a report like this is easy. Okay, done. So yes,
West with the standard. This West.
in the slicer.
Yes.
Okay, West, done.
Then any of the shipment.
Right, let's say first class. So only West and only the ship mode first class.
Because earlier it was not showing, means the moment you were shipping to other one, it was not selected the image numbers. So that is the reason.
No, it can do the intersections. Like if you apply this, that means, it is looking for West and especially only the second class one. So that is, by default, all the visuals are connected. Okay, on one page, everything is connected. So that means not only with the slicer, usually in Excel, if you want to filter the data, you need to depend on a slicer, but on the visual also you can do that. Means if I want to know only about furniture, if I select furniture here, all your data will be filtered to show only furniture data, right? This is furniture sales, furniture profit and all. If I take it off, yes. Similarly, if you are looking for corporate, see that corporate, how it is, right? And if I'm looking for only California, so the California sales are, this is how it is coming. So interactions can be modified. So many things we can do. Okay. Got some idea now? A report can be easily created using Power BI. Right.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah, in right side bottom we get the steps, no sir. We are not getting the right now. It is updated. What are the steps we have added? We are going to see in the right side bottom.
That is in the Power Query.
Okay. Okay.
We are already into the Power BI desktop. So whatever the data steps that we
Yeah.
did, if
Yeah.
I want to delete a particular column, you can remove the column. Right, that step is here. This is what mQuery language is.
Okay. Okay.
We will understand what is mQuery language and how to read it. Right. So what is the source, where it is coming, right? And how the transformation is done and everything that you see here. Yeah, got some idea? How we can create a report? Right, okay. So today, I want you to do something. Go to Microsoft Store. Okay. Go to Microsoft Store and search for Power BI Desktop. Okay. And for you, it shows install or get it. For me, it is showing open because Power BI is already there. Okay. So you can install that and just be ready. Okay. So it depends on the internet speed. It may take like 15 to 20 minutes, right? Just install it and be ready. Right. You understood the process, right? You just need to go to Microsoft Store.
Open Google and go to.
No. In start button itself. Just type store there. It takes you to Microsoft Store and there you search for Power BI Desktop. Do not download it from a link. Okay. Link is nothing but you can go to app, Power BI, Microsoft.powerbi.com. You can go there and from there also you can download it. But recommendation is download it from store only. Okay. From there also it will be navigated to store only, but just in case, right? Directly go to Microsoft Store and search for Power BI Desktop and don't get confused. Okay. In Power BI itself, you have the other things also. Power BI Report Builder is there, right? So don't get confused and we use Power BI Desktop. Okay. Just search for that Power BI Desktop and load it. Yeah. So other couple of things as part of this. Yeah. Let me quickly show you. So here we are using Power BI, right? And you want to get data from any of the databases. It could be SQL Server database.
Power BI, Power BI Desktop,
Yes.
which that's showing as an app.
Yes. Looks like you already, okay, you search for it. Yeah, get it. Get it. Yes, that's it. Install it. Okay. Yeah, this will take some time once you say install. Right. We are using here Power BI Desktop to create the reports and the data can come from any source. It could be SQL Server database or MSS Access or MySQL or anything. So for that, SQL is needed anyways. We'll discuss the SQL fundamentals also. Okay. So you have your instructions files here. We'll take you through installation guide. I'm just showing you, right? Directly you can go to Microsoft Store and Power BI Desktop and install it. Power BI sign up documentation, I'll take you through later. Do not create your Power BI service account at this point. I'll let you know there is a process for it. So for each and everything, there is a document available and I'll take you through as and when we discuss the topic. Before that, as I discussed, we need to talk about SQL fundamentals once again today, right? Why the SQL fundamentals are needed? Because if you want to create any data model, you need to understand the keys between the tables. Okay, so I want each one of you to answer this, please. I know a few of you joined, directly Power BI. In this group, I think you are done with SQL. No, not yet. Okay, done. You two are done, right? Others, okay, let me ask online participants also. Online participants, if you are not done with the SQL, please either you raise your hand or you can mention in the chat window that you are not done with SQL. Not done. The ones who are not done with the SQL, only those people raise your hands. Online, you have an option to raise your hand there or use the chat window so that this will give me some idea. Not done, okay. You see one with the hand raised, and the 5 hours, okay. Only 3, okay. Shilpa not done, okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No problem. Yeah, lower your hands, please. Yeah, I got it. Okay, so these are the questions only for you. Here also offline students do not answer because you know the ones who completed SQL, you know the answers already. Very much needed to build a data model. Okay. So data modeling and all the complex subjects we'll discuss later. But before that, you need to understand what is a table. Inside the table, there are common keys available, right? So let me ask you this question.
The question you asked us.
Yeah. Let me show this. With that, most of the people get some idea, okay? So what are these keys? Usually, even if you are not from the SQL background, you would have heard this primary key, foreign key. You would have heard. You may or may not be aware of or good with these keys, but you have some idea. Like there is a name primary key, there is a name foreign key. That's it, right? Even if you don't know that, also it's okay. I'll tell you one thing. What is a primary key? I'll tell you. A primary key is always unique and not null. Two properties it needs to satisfy. Okay. Always unique and not null. The best example for a primary key, probably most of you are working, right? You have your employee ID. Okay, that's your primary key. Why? Because it is always unique and it can't be null. Yes or no? If you get an employee ID, definitely there will be a number, right? A blank or a null employee ID can't be issued to any of the employee, right? So what is the primary key? Something that is unique and not null. Okay. So any other best examples of primary keys can you tell me now? The ones who are not done with SQL, you attempt it, okay? Nothing wrong, no right answer, no wrong answer, no price distribution for this, okay? You can try out anything that you feel. Go ahead, please. You just write whatever you feel, it could be a primary key, right? Online order ID, excellent. Go ahead, others also.
Service numbers, incident.
Incident numbers, okay, perfect.
Talk about the sales.
If we talk about the sales, then
Product ID.
product ID, excellent. Order ID, yeah, see that? Online participants, please write.
What are the ID so that we can relate with the multiple other property, I can, not property, example, you can see properties also, where you can extract the data.
Okay, so let's wait for online responses also. I want each one of you to type at least one ID that you think of. Okay, it could be a primary key. I see order ID is one. Okay, excellent. Others, please write something there, so that we'll also get some idea whether you're following the subject or not. And you said incident number, right? Okay, I see invoice numbers. Okay. Customer numbers, nice. Good number of examples coming. So you're saying all these things are primary keys, and we see these primary keys everywhere. If you look at in this room itself, I see a lot of primary keys. Okay. Okay, fine then. I'll show you one table. So you tell me. Okay. Yeah, date can also work like a primary key. Each date, when you talk about, it's unique, and a day cannot exist without a date. Date, yes, it's a good one. Take a look at this table, right? Only the ones who are not done with SQL answer this. Which one you think it is a primary key in this table? I want you to actively participate here. And then he says it's pay ID. And you say it is employee ID. And you say pay ID can also be a primary key here. Okay, let us hear it from others also. Fayaz says employee ID is a primary key. Two more responses, please. Okay, employee ID is a primary key. Okay, Akshay says and Mohit says. Okay, fine then. What is the behavior of a primary key that we discussed? Primary key is something that must be unique and not null, right? Okay, perfect. If I mark this as a primary key, okay, I mark it as a primary key. What are the two rules that it needs to satisfy? It must be unique. That is the first one. And the next one is not null. So that means in this particular column, because we are marking this as a primary key, it must be unique and it can't be null. And if I look at this table currently, and looks like everything is unique and it's not null. Excellent, right? But someone said pay ID. Pay ID is also looking like unique and that is also not null. Then you get a confusion here. Which one is actually a primary key? Okay, here we go. What are the two things that primary key needs to satisfy? Unique and not null, right? So that means 1, 2, 3, 4 ID. It must be always uniquely existing here and it cannot be null. That's what it means, right? But what is the table we are looking at? Employee payroll table, right? Here's the point. Now we will understand why it is very, very important for us to figure out which one is a primary key. If employee ID, if I mark it as a primary key in the payroll table, okay, there is an employee who is 1234, 1234 is Mahesh, okay. Mahesh will be paid how many times? Only once. Why? Because we marked it as a primary key, right? So that means it can come there only once. 1234 employee ID in this column can come only once. Means May 2023, if Mahesh gets paid, then how about June? There won't be any salary. Why? Because if you are trying to input Mahesh employee ID here as 1234 once again for June, then it stops saying this 1234 is already existing. Why it stops? Because we marked it as primary key. Now you got the point. So here you cannot say this as a primary key. Then what is the primary key here? Here the primary key is pay ID, right? You see that each and every ID, a pay ID, it is one unique number and which is not null. But if you just in case mark employee ID as a primary key, there is no way that you can repeat that number. You see that employee ID 1234, 1234, and again 1234, all these number of times 1234 is repeated. Right? So whenever you want to say something as a primary key, you cannot look at only the column. You need to look at the table also. In which table? So there is a question always, in which table? Right? So pay ID is a primary key here, but employee ID is a foreign key here. Okay, what is a foreign key? It's a primary key of some other table. Okay, so here it is a primary key of some other table. Which table? Employee ID in the employee table. You see here, it is a primary key. Employee ID in the employee table is a primary key because each and every employee gets one unique identification number. So the same 1234 can be used in any other table for multiple number of times. Then it becomes a foreign key. Now you understand that a primary key and a foreign key, very easy example this is. It depends on the table. If just in case, if you mark employee payroll table with this employee ID as a primary key, understand you cannot pay the same employee again. You can't pay the same employee again. Okay. Student ID, is it a primary key?
There is no student.
Exactly. You cannot say student ID is a primary key. You need to know student ID in which table. In the admissions table, it is a primary key because each and every student at the time of admission gets one unique identification number. But in the attendance table, what if I mark it as a primary key? In the attendance table, so if I mark student ID as a primary key, so that means I can register the attendance of the student only once because the same ID can't be repeated. So understand, in the student admissions table, student ID is a primary key, but the same student ID in the attendance table is a foreign key because the same student will be there in the attendance table as well with multiple times repetitions, right? Hall ticket number. Hall ticket number in the hall ticket issuing table, it is a primary key, but the same hall ticket number in the examinations table is a foreign key. What if I mark hall ticket number as a primary key in the examinations table? Each hall ticket can take the exam only once. What if there are 6 subjects, but the student can write only once, one exam, that's it. Understood? Now you're getting it? Okay, laptop serial number. In the manufacturing table, laptop serial number in the manufacturing table, it is primary key. Why? Because each and every machine gets one unique identification number, but the same primary key in the service center table can become a foreign key. Why? Because multiple times the same laptop can go for the service. Now we are getting it. Do not think just because that is sounding unique, don't call it as a primary key. Okay, it depends on table. Most of the people get confused. Easy concept only, but they think like, okay, it can be a primary key. No, not every time it's a primary key. Right? Online participants, so I hope you got this. Got some idea now? All right. So easy concept, but yes, you need to be careful. Okay, tell me which one is a primary key in this table. We are looking at bank accounts table. Aadhaar number, is it a primary key there?
Yes. Fine.
Bank account number is a primary key.
Stable. Reason and maintaining on the bank is so bad.
Okay, here we go. The bank account numbers, an account number.
Customer because you are mentioning home loan problem, right? It might be changed because I can take the home loan problem, right? And that time account will be linked. I'm not saying my home loan car loan account will be same, but it may not be one saving account, so it's on.
Yeah. So that is the reason you see customer ID is different from account number. If you look at this C125 customer, look at this. The C125 customer has 4 relationships with the bank, same bank. One is a SB account, the other one home loan, car loan, credit card. But all of them are linked inside one customer login only. But these account numbers are different. Car loan account number is different, SB account number is different, credit card account number is different. But all those account numbers are connected inside one customer ID. And the customer has the same Aadhaar number. Right. So this is how we need to read the data. Out of this, multiple columns may be there. We expect at least one primary key. And usually one primary key is present in every table. Just because something is sounding unique, customer ID, you may be thinking customer ID, is it a primary key? No, it depends on the table. The table that you're looking at, the accounts table. So customer ID can be duplicated there because one customer can have multiple accounts. Right? So this is what we need to understand. Right? Using these concepts only, we design the schemas. A star schema and a snowflake schema. If you look at that, I think you can easily figure this out. So tell me something like, yeah, dealer ID. In the revenue table, dealer ID. What kind of a key is it? Revenue table, dealer ID. Yeah, this one. Oh, you say it is foreign key. Okay.
foreign key.
Okay, in the revenue table, it is a foreign key. So where it exists as a primary key?
Right?
In the dimension table dealer. In the dealer table, dealer ID is a primary key. Okay, I'll give you a simple example here and easy way to remember this. If the table name and column name are sounding same, consider that as a primary key. Table name, column name sounding same, consider that as a primary key. Okay, transactions table, transaction ID, primary key. Dealers table, dealer ID, primary key. Customers table, customer ID, primary key. Products table, product ID, primary key. Right? So that's how we can read it. Which one is a primary key? And the same key is, playing its role in a different, table. You can consider that as a foreign key. Something like this. Transactions table, product ID, foreign key. Transactions table, customer ID, foreign key. Right? Transactions table, dealer ID, foreign key. Right? Date table, date ID. Date ID. Primary key. The same date ID in the revenue table is a foreign key. So this is called a star schema. Okay. So this looks like a star. When you say star, not necessary that it should definitely looks like a, should definitely look like a star. But simple thing is a fact table surrounded by dimension tables. Now you are hearing two new table names, fact table and a dimension table. Very easy to understand. What is a fact table? Any table that contains numerical data for the calculation purpose. Any table that contains numerical data for calculation purpose, you call it fact table. Any table that contains categorical data is called dimension table, right? Once we start building the models, you will understand more and more about them. These things will be derived because of the data normalization. You are hearing a new word here. Okay, two tables. What are they? Fact table and dimension table. What is a fact table? Numerical data, something that is useful for the calculation is a fact table. What is a dimension table? Dimension table is for the categorical data, for the dimension purpose. And why do we get these two kind of tables? Because of the normalization. What is normalization? Let me show you one simple example. With that, we'll be done for today. But I want you to just remember these concepts before proceeding to the Power BI, okay? Okay. Take a look at this data. If I want to create total salaries paid by the department name, can we do that? If you are good with Excel, you know this answer. Total salaries paid by the department name.
We also have a couple of formulas.
Yeah, can we do that or not? Is it possible or not?
Then I think the data we can.
Do you know pivot table? Can we create a pivot table to show the total salaries paid by the department name? Okay, total salaries paid by the gender, can we do that? Right? Possible? Yes, it is. Right? Okay, total salary paid by the job. Can we do that? Yes, we can. Right? So that means all the columns, whatever I'm asking, is present in single table. Let us take a look at this. Okay, tell me, total salary is paid by the department name. Can I create it? Total salary is paid by the department name. Can I do that? Yeah, exactly. We don't have the department name there. Right? What is it we have? We have the department ID there. Perfect. Using that ID, can I fetch the department related details? Can I do that? In Excel, we do the lookups. In SQL, we do the joins. In Power BI, we create relationships. This is what we do in the data modeling concepts, right? The common keys, you know them, right? Okay, department table, department ID is what kind of a key? Primary key. The same department ID in the department table is, in the employee table is foreign key. So that means you will be looking up these department IDs in this department table. Yes or no? That is what we do. Similarly, this you have like designations, right? So the same thing, designation also is the same thing. You can get the designations, nothing but the job ID from the job ID here. Okay, and you have the gender ID here. Right, in Excel, this is achieved using a lookup formula. Could be VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, index match, any kind of a lookup formula. In SQL, we do the joins, and in Power BI, we do the relationships. And here we go. Departments table is a dimension table. Why? Because it is only holding categorical data. Designation table is also a dimension table only, because this is also holding categorical data. Gender table is also holding, yeah, categorical data. Employee table is a fact table. You get a question, how do you say that it's a fact table? Simple. At least one column should have the numerical values, and we should be able to do the sum. Do we have any column in this entire model? I mean, entire table, okay, that allows you to do the sum? Yes, salary. Salary is a numerical data and I can do the sum. Commission is there. It's a numerical data and I can do the sum. Understood? Right. So this is how we build the models. You need to understand what is the primary key and foreign key here. Employee table department ID is foreign key. Department table department ID is primary key. Similarly, here also job ID, in this case, it is a foreign key. The same job ID in the designation table is a primary key. Done? Got some idea now? Using the same thing, we create a model like this, creating the relationship. Sometimes we see the snowflake also, something like this. What is a snowflake? It is just an extension to the star schema. A star schema has fact table that is surrounded by the dimension tables, and a dimension table will have a subdimensional table. When you have this kind of a model, this will take more time to read the data. I'll tell you why. If you want to find out, there is a fuel type. Fuel type, you have petrol type, diesel type, CNG, hybrid, and let's say electric. 5 types of vehicles you produce. And your business asks, basis on the fuel type, I want to know how many units sold. Now you see that. Fuel type, units sold. You don't have any direct way to reach that table. So you need to take the help of the products table, and then from there you need to go to the fuel type there. So when you have so many dependencies tables that are there in the middle, then you consider that as a snowflake schema. We try to build the data models in star schema model, so that the report runs faster. Okay, we try to get the data into the star schema only, but sometimes we also end up creating snowflake. Understand that star schema means a fact table is surrounded by multiple dimension tables. And what is a snowflake schema? These dimension tables will have additional subdimensional tables. Okay, then you call it a snowflake schema. So this is how it looks, and that is the difference. Okay, but we try to work with a star schema only. We try to bring the data into a star schema usually, but sometimes we also create snowflake schema designs. Okay, why the schemas come into picture? Because all the data is not present in one table. Remember, you get another question like, why do I need to worry about creating multiple tables, again joining them back? Why can't we have the data in a single table itself? If the data itself is there in the single table, it's easy, right? But understand that when it comes to a very huge data set, the table size will be significantly very huge because of the data. But once you normalize the data like this, it's the same data, but I normalized it. How? By splitting the data into multiple dimension tables and fact tables. You get a question like how it will help to reduce the size. Okay, simple thing. If I give you a pen and paper, ask you to write one, and ask you to write manager, which one takes more space and more ink? Manager. If you write one, it's easy. But if you write manager, it takes more time, more space also. Right? More ink. Right? So instead of writing everywhere the actual values, what is it we write? We write their keys only. So when you want to create a report, then we join those keys to fetch the corresponding values from the other columns. Okay, this is what we do in the data normalization. Under the data modeling also, we do the similar kind of a thing, right? So in this way, you can reduce the data size. If the normal data set is there, then the data size is usually lesser than the denormalized data set. Okay, this is the advantage of normalization. You don't store the same values. Instead of that, you store their keys. In your organizations also, they don't store your name every time. What is it they store? Your employee ID. Everywhere you are with your employee ID only. They don't need your name every time. Whenever they need your name, then they join with employee table. Okay, they create a relationship with employee table using this employee ID and they can fetch the name. Understood? Right. So this is what we are going to do. In tomorrow's session, we are going to create our first sample data model using the same concepts. I want you to remember these things, whatever we discussed today, and complete the installation because I want you to create your first report along with me tomorrow itself.
So,
Okay.
so like both have that's
it. Close it. That's it. We'll see how to import the data, how to create our first data model using all those concepts. We'll see tomorrow. There are certain things as part of the data quality checks we need to do. Data quality and data profiling we do. And after that, we create our first data model and create a sample report just for our understanding. But that is not the full data modeling concepts, but just to get some idea. Why are we talking about normalization, foreign key, primary key, and all? Step by step, we'll learn. Okay. Done. Online participants, any questions here? Yeah.
And like say we have access sheet, right? You can create many. So in Power BI,
You can create many pages.
pages.
Yes, in
There's
Power BI
different
report, no. You can create a different number of pages. Usually, we split the visuals into multiple pages only. On the same page, you cannot show like 20, 25 visuals. And it is not recommended also. It kills the performance of the report. So it is one PL300 question in Power BI. There are 30 visuals on a page and users reporting, users report that the report is running very slow. What could be the reason? 30 visuals, if you keep it in one page, definitely it runs slower because it needs to load all those visuals in one go, right? So what we usually recommend is that split the visuals into multiple pages, depending on the kind of relevance they have. Right. Okay, cool then. I hope you got some idea what is Power BI, and I'll take you to through the Power BI presentation tomorrow. Okay, there I discuss points about Power BI, what is data analysis, types of analytics, right? Data visualizations.
And that's the Excelytics that is possible.
I just showed you, right? And the course outline, content and everything. We are going to. These are only the high-end points, okay? Because in detail thing, we'll learn step by step. There are so many instruction files also. This is just like, it simply says, get the data from Excel. But with Excel itself, we'll play with it in 7-8 different models, right? Getting the data from Excel is a common thing, but the kind of challenges that we see in that Excel file is different, okay? Right, I'll take you through this Power BI presentation, types of analytics, job opportunities, what kind of skills are needed, what is Power BI, right? Components, the report development, prerequisites, and again, most common thing. Why Power BI? Why Tableau? What kind of differences are there and why companies prefer going for Power BI, right? The reasons. I think this is 2022, but I'll open the recent one also. The Microsoft is standing at the top, okay? And why Power BI, the different advantages, what is a custom visual? I'll take you through all of that. And today you completed this already. Installation. You just go to the Microsoft store and you just search for Power BI desktop and just click get it. That's it. It will be done. And it takes 1 GB space. Yes. And tomorrow we'll see. This is what I'm saying. We'll create one data model, the very first data model to understand it. Right. Complete all of them and be ready with your Power BI service. Power BI desktop. And I think the team would have uploaded already this material onto Google Drive, and you will get access to it. Download the entire material and keep it there in your system. Because going forward, we'll be doing a lot of exercises using those data sources only. right? I'll be giving you exercises, and at the end, if anyone is looking for Power BI PL 300 certification, I have a separate material for Power BI PL 300 certification, and you just reach out to the front office and they will share that PDF material with you. A good 350 questions are there if you can practice all of them.
Is that
No, I think someone who is going for the certification from us, we are giving it for free only. We are not charging anything for the material. But good thing is that whatever the topics that are part of PL 300, I'll stress that point. Okay, this is one of those questions. I'll be covering that point also, right? I think one of those things I mentioned here, visuals, keeping more number of visuals on one page is killing the performance of the report. So what is that you need to do? Move them, different options they will give. Okay. And the best option out of those four is splitting the visuals into multiple. So this is one of the PL 300 questions. So as and when we talk about a particular topic, then definitely I'll cover what kind of questions can come from the PL 300 exam. Right.
it's around like how many 100 questions?
No, 52 to 54 questions you get, and 100 minutes is the time, and in which you have a big case study as well. That is a challenge there. Case study is about a 5 pages case study. You need to study it, understand it, and then write it. That is a challenge there in PL 300.
In 100 minutes.
In 100 minutes. Yes. A few questions are there. They are like very easy. The moment you see the question, you know the answer also. A few questions, they take a lot of time. Okay. Yeah, anyways, in that material, you will get to know what is it. But anyone who is interested for the PL 300, just pay attention to the points that I'm telling that, okay, if it is a PL 300 question, make a note. And the same kind of a question you will see in your material also. Okay. So I'm going to upload the material to the Google Drive and just check with the front office and they'll share the material link with you and just download and be ready for tomorrow's session. Okay. Cool then. So thanks everyone for attending today and yeah, let's catch up tomorrow. Thanks everyone. See you. Let me see any charts there. Okay. Thanks everyone online. Bye.
But
See you.